Hi guys, it's Auntie Belle's My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, I'm back. All right, so we are continuing on. We're doing the background. When I left off, I hadn't added on these little pieces of jelly prints that I've made, and I added those on because I forgot that I wanted the look also of like a chipped up old wall that's had, you know, tons of layers of paint and maybe some posters stapled on and ripped off and glued on and then more paint and then chipped. I wanted that whole look and I forgot about that part. So off camera, I added these. I'll show you. Now I've broken it up, but I've jelly printed pages that look like this. Aren't these fabulous? Look at my mixed media and under my playlist under mixed media, and you can see me doing how I created these type of jelly prints. And they look more like chipped paint, which is what I love to make. Stuff just looks like chipped paint. Not specific designs, but old walls, old doors, chipped up paint. That's what I like to make. Because I want to add it to my I want to add stuff like this to my my background, to my artwork. There's another great one. Okay, so I took a bunch from this sheet right here that I did. That's why there's only this much left. And I ripped up that sheet like this into little bits, and I put them all over. Okay, and I put those right on top. So now that gives me more of like an old wall that has paint chipping off and maybe posters and writing and calligraphy, and not calligraphy, but oh, what's that called when people graffiti? So that's what the look I wanted for the background. Okay, so that's how we got to that point. Now what we want to do is I want to lightly gesso this. So I'm going to take my gesso, which is, I'm actually using Kills, which is a wall primer. I'm going to dip, let me rearrange myself, my big blue brush into water, and then I'm going to dip it into the gesso. And what that does is it makes it so that it gives it a light gesso and you still see all this below it, okay? Also, let me cover up my girls' faces just a second. You think I would have those same two pieces of paper that I ripped up last time, but no, I don't. What the heck? Anyway. I just like to protect their faces because we're doing a lot of stuff and we don't want to get anything on the face, right? Right. Oh man. Just a second. There we go. There we go. Good enough. All right, so let's go ahead and if it gets too like you can't see beneath the layers, just add a little bit of water. You want to make sure you're still seeing all those beautiful layers. And I'm going real close to the hair because we're going to do some colorant over all this. And you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. So when you do a gesso, it pulls back the background, so it's in the background, but it also gives a tooth so that we can use acrylic paints, or we can use inks, which we're going to be using some inks or watercolor on top of it. So you need that tooth, and it gives it the tooth. Okay, so now we have all of that. Okay, so now we need to blow dry. We need to use the blow dryer and get this dried out. It won't take too long. Let me get with my blow dryer. And you know what? I think I might pause you guys while I dry because it does take a little long. Not majorly, but longer than you want to sit here and watch it. So just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys. I am back. And this is all dry. All right. I'd rather not sit there and have you guys just watch me dry paint. Okay, so now see how it has like a little bit of a haze? Love it. Okay. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to do the coloring part of this, coloring the background. So I'm going to use this chocolate incredible ink, and it smells like hot cocoa. It's by Jane Davenport. It's fabulous. It's an ink. And then I'm going to use Bria Reese. It's another ink, and it has some glitter in it, which is really cool. Oh, excuse me. And then I'm going to use Stencils, which I used on their skin tones, which I, on both of them, toned it down a little bit, but I think I'm going to use it full strength. So I'm going to use my glass mat here. We'll start on this side, and we'll just put out some of the inks right onto my glass mat here. And use that as my little plate here for mixing things. And we'll put this right here. All right. I will add a little water to each of them. Let me just use my spray bottle. Also, let me get a baby wipe out. I have this one ink bottle. It just, the Bria Reese, it always just, I don't know. When you open it, it just always has to get everywhere. Anyway, more than just on your mat. It has to get on your hands. All right, so I'm going to take my spray bottle over here on the side and just add a little water to each of these to kind of get them going. And then we're going to use which brush? We'll use this brush here. It's a really nice brush. I love it. My little mermaid brushes. I was going to use this mermaid brush, which is a Jane Davenport brush, which I love. Look at that. But I used it in, it has some stuff in it, so I need to get that out first before I use it. But look how cool it is in gold. That mermaid brush. Oh, fabulous. Okay. Here we go. So we're just coloring the background, adding color. Okay. So we're just aging. What it really does, what this is really doing is just adding some aging. It's bringing everything together, and it's giving us that old, aged wall look that we like. All right. And I kind of blend the colors into each other and real close to the hair so we don't have any separation of anything. And you add a little bit more onto this mat. Okay, and this down here. All right, hopefully all this doesn't go off the mat, but if it does, whatever. Okay, a little bit more of that color because that looks like rust, which I really like. Okay, and then let me make sure where I'm at so you guys can see me. Okay, perfect. You can rinse your brush off in between, or you don't have to, whatever you want to do. Okay. So I'm just here and there dipping into all three of these colors. So we can keep things interesting. Get right up to that hair so that everything looks like it's all together in the background. Then we'll use some more of that rust color. Okay, so let me bring this like right. I'm just going to turn this, my picture. It'll be upside down, but it doesn't matter. We're just doing the background. Right? Right. Make sure you guys are still seeing things. Yep, we're going to work right there. And, ooh, let's put the hot cocoa right here. Gorgeous. And right next to that, we'll put some of the rust color also, because that'll look really pretty mixed in with that. The rust color a little bit. Very pretty. Okay. Oh my God, this smells so good. I can smell the chocolate. You know, I need a little bit more rust. Where I told you the Jane Davenport one smelled like hot chocolate. Oh, it smells so good. I can smell it right now. I want to add a little bit more rust color right into here. Okay. Love it. Perfect. All right, so let me clean up my mess over here before I have too much of a mess. Let's clean up all these inks. Wipe up my hands. Let's clean up some more of this ink so it doesn't get everywhere. Also, we'll use my baby wipe because we need to really wipe this up. Just a second. Love it. Okay. Love these incredible inks, you guys. Oh, they're just beautiful. They work a lot like a watercolor. And these, what are they called? Let me just close the lid real quick. See, there it goes, leaking. Remember I told you this Bria Reese bottle? It leaks like there's like a sieve. Oh, I hate it. I love the color. I just hate how it leaks. It gets my nails all stained up. It gets my... Oh, just a second. This ink bottle just gives me issues. Okay, this is the one that gives me issues, that Bria Reese, but it's beautiful. So, it's worth the mess, even though it perturbs me. Just a second, let me wipe my hands off real good. So I'm just getting my hands wiped up. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take a blow dryer to all this again. I'm not going to pause you guys because it'll only take a second. Okay, love this. So it just looks like an old, this is like an old wall, an old door, all chipped up. That's what I wanted. Okay, that's what I'm always trying to create. It's not anything new. I always want to create an old wall or an old door. Okay, I write like things on sticks, like things that I like to, like different things I learned from other artists or things that I do that I want to be reminded of. So, and I keep them in a thing over here. A lot of times people pick sticks out and then they do whatever the stick says. But I use them as a reminder of different things I can do to my backgrounds. Stencils. So I have stencils picked out already. Intuitive writing. I'm going to do some of that in a second. Some doodles and marks. I'm going to do that in a second. And some messy writing. So we're going to do that right now. Let's do some messy writing. I'm just going to add some messy writing to the background. Oh. And messy writing is you can write whatever you want to write. Just a second, I need to find myself a writing pen that's really thin. You can write whatever you want to write and make it really messy. And it's so messy that no one's going to know what you're writing. And that's exactly what you want. So, I think this might work. Nope, it's not going to work. Just a second, I'm looking for an ink pen that'll work good for this. I think this one will. So, I'm going to do some messy writing over here. I'm sure you guys are seeing this. Hey, honey, are you going back to work?
Yep.
Okay, love you. Okay, so I'm just going to do some messy writing over here. You're not even going to be able to read what I'm writing. Peace and love. Wisdom, happiness. I'm just writing words. Wish, hope, beautiful. Yes, please. I'll write hope again. Love, hearts, joy. Whatever. I can write Jane Davenport. Okay, now see all that? No, you can't even tell what I'm writing. You can just see that there's some writing going on, and you just want it really, really messy. And I just think that looks really, really cool. See that? Okay. We're gonna do some of that messy writing right here in the center. And actually, you know what? It's too much texture right there, so that's actually not going to work. We'll try to do some up here. Okay, so I just did some writing there. I might do some writing over here. Peace, love, joy, happiness. Okay, so I just wrote really messy, and it's just going to become part of the background, that messy writing. What the message is not important. Just so you see some messy writing. Okay, hopefully you guys are seeing that when I brought that up to you. It's just something else to go into the background. Another thing I wanted to do is, so let me get rid of the messy writing, some intuitive writing. And intuitive writing is just, I learned it from, oh gosh, I can't think of her name. McClendon. Her last name is McClendon. What is her first name? Robin McClendon. God, her name. Finally, sometimes I forget her name all the time. Anyway, I learned this intuitive writing from her. And it's just like letters, but your own type of lettering, and let it just come out of your hand. So what I do is I take an A and I deform it. I take a B and a C and I deform it, or I turn it around. And you can't even tell that that was the letter from before, okay? Like that's an H, but you can't really tell, right? Okay, that was an M, but I deformed it. That was an L, but I turned it around and I went like that. So I just wanted to do a little bit of that type of, some of that type of writing. Don't want to do any more anywhere. I think that's enough. So I just did some intuitive writing. Hopefully you guys are seeing that. See that right there? And right here. Okay. And there's some intuitive writing over there. Okay. And then, so I did some intuitive writing. Some mark making. Mark making is so fun. I love making marks. I'm going to make crosses everywhere. I love crosses. I'm just going to throw some crosses here and there and shapes and little clusters of 3 all over the place. Okay, I love that. I think that looks really good. Okay. All right. Now you can change it and use different colors if you want. I'm just going to use black in this one, but you can change it and use different colors. You can do all kinds of mark making. I could have done also, I could do hashtags. I could do little O's. I could do X's. I could do all kinds of stuff. But for right now, I'm just going to do the little crosses. I feel like that is the perfect mark making for this. Okay. And then I have stencils. Okay. I have this stencil here, which Penny gave me. Hey, Penny. Thank you so much, girl. I love this, and I need to use it. There's things in here that I think are really good between our black woman and our Native woman. Just different things that they share between each other. Like I said, they do share a very tragic past. It's very different, but the same. Just being women, they have so much in common that way also, and being mothers. And so I love the word imagine, because imagine the way life should be or could be. Believe, that's another word I want to put in here. Of course, love, dream, magic. Okay. Also, there's some symbols that look very native, and they also look very African. Like the eagle, this here, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a snake, and then this gecko. So I'm probably going to put some of that in there. What else do I have? I have this word courage. And I almost feel like that's just such a great word, because it takes so much courage it takes courage to get along in the world every day through all your trials and tribulations. So I think that's a great word, courage. So we're going to put that up at the top for sure. And there's a few other things on there that I like. Okay, so you guys get it. And then there's some other words on this one which I've never used, from Dollar Tree. It says love on it also. It says imagine, believe, dream. So I'm not going to open this one yet. I think I'm going to use the one that Penny gave me. This right here is something else from Dollar Tree, and it has feathers on it, which I thought was very cool. And it has also arrows. So we'll see. As I keep going along, we'll see what I use and what I don't use. This is really cool, this feather, and it says hope. I could possibly use that because that's really, really cool. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to use is the courage. All this is going to be done in black ink. Let's see, this is, yep, it'll come out perfect. So all this is going to be done in black ink. Let me get out a little sponge, a little makeup sponge. I need to cut this off, so I'm looking for some scissors. I know I have scissors right here because I just used them. Okay, here they are. this right here? Oh, okay. I really like this sun right there too. I might use that. It's cool how things just start organically happening. You pull some things out that really match what you're doing, and I like how things can just start coming together. So for inspiration, go through your stash of collage bits, any jelly prints you've made. Go through your stencils. Go through the different art supplies you have, and all that is going to inspire you in, you know, what you want to do. I love this sun. I think that is just fits so much with this piece. So let's put the sun right below courage. I've never used this sun yet, but I think it'll be perfect. Yes, that is perfect. Look at that. Ah, love it. Okay, and is there anything else I want to use here that I think is really cool? Okay, let me let this dry, and let me look at a few other things I have going over here on the side. Remember I told you I wanted to use some of these native, and they look very African and very native, these symbols. So I'm wondering if I want to put that right there. I think that could look really cool. This gecko right there. Let's do it. Oh, I love it. Cool. And I might even outline that in a little bit of white or gold. I probably will. Okay, let me just wipe that off. Also, let me get back my piece of paper on the face, because I just want to make sure that I don't mess up the faces at all with what I'm doing. I'd be very sad. Okay. What else do we want to do? I wanted to put this bird somewhere, because I think this bird is really cool. Let's put that bird up here in the corner. And this is one of the first times I've ever used a stencil. I love it. You know what the stencil was waiting for? This moment. I feel like I know what I want to put there. Either this feather or where's the other thing? Okay, I had another thing out. What the heck? Oh, the arrow. That's what I thought I was thinking. And I think it's on this thing here. I'm thinking, I know I saw the arrow, but it's on this. I love this arrow right here. Instead of east, south, west, north, east, south, and west, it has LOVE for love, which I think is really cool. So is that gonna fit here? Yes, it is. So let's put that in here. Very cool. Love that. That fit just perfect. Okay. Alrighty, what else can we do? Okay, now we have some of these words that I wanted to do. The word imagine. Do I have any room for that? You know what? We have room right here. Let's do it. Okay, let me scoot this over. Hopefully you guys are still seeing. Let me make sure you guys are still able to see. Yeah. Because that's the first step in a better world, isn't it? Imagining the way you want the world to be, imagining the way you want things to be or be seen. So I think that's a really powerful word. Whether it's the way you want to see your world, to see your art, it all begins with imagining it first, right? I love the word create because it could be for creating art or creating the world that you want to live in. And that's a saying that I have on create your own world. I love that saying. I have a stencil that says that. So let's put the word create on here. Okay. Love it. And is it perfect? No. And that's good. That's fine with me. Okay. The other thing I want to do is I have another stencil I haven't shown you guys that I always keep down here. They're Andy Skinner stencils, and I absolutely love them. I show them to you guys almost every time we're on here, but I'll show them to you again. These are Andy Skinner stencils. Look how fabulous those are. Are those so Tim Holtz? But Andy Skinner and Tim Holtz have that same type of steampunky, old world type of look. Okay, so you can see. Love. Okay, so I'm just kind of see if I want, oh, I know what I wanted to do. I love this little 1812. It's just very little. We're going to add that. You can add that in little places. It's really cool. All of these things I'm adding are just little things because I think it's cool. What else? Okay, I'm going to add some numbers on here just because I think it's cool. These numbers right here. Okay, you guys. I know in the video here, you guys are like, what the heck happened? Because I was in the middle, I believe, of stenciling with one of my Andy Skinner stencils, this one here, and I did all kinds of stuff. Okay, so this is how we ended up, because part of the video got messed up. So anyway, so it's hard for me to explain. Okay, so you guys saw me doing everything with the stenciling. So I'm done with the stenciling. This is how all the stenciling ended up, okay? I'm not sure exactly where we left off of everything you saw or didn't see. But we were almost at the end of the stenciling process part of this. Okay. So the other thing that got cut from my, from this video was going around and doing the bordering with my Stabilo. I don't know if I said this before or not, but let's just continue on. You can use a Stabilo. You can use a water-soluble crayon, like a Jane Davenport one, but in black. You can use a colored pencil, black colored pencil. You can also use a what's that oil stick called? A oil pastel. But if you use the oil pastel, you don't have to wet your finger with like a baby wipe. You just need to use the oil, the heat from your finger. So let me get a baby wipe out. Okay, so I've already done it, but I'm just going to show you, for example, of how to go around and just border your picture with your Stabilo or any of those other things I just said. And you just go like this. Okay, I've already done it, so I'm just going to do the top here. Okay, I have my baby wipe. Wet your finger a little bit on your baby wipe and come across. And if you, anything you use water soluble, if you just wet your finger with a baby wipe, you will just blend that out. And then that's how you get that bordering going all the way around. Okay, so you have your border there too. And then there's bordering at the bottom too. And then all the way, and I already did it all the way around. So, I wanted to show you guys that part. And I think that was it with this. I just wanted to make sure that I retaped the ending of this because it got all messed up. So, I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys learned some new techniques. Maybe learned about some new products. Let me know below. I am going to make prints of this and sell them on my, in my Etsy store. And I said I was going to make prints of my other one and sell them on my Etsy store also, this one. Okay, so I did make prints, but two things happened. One, because I had the face too light in the center here. And if you do that, it will pick up like this. See, it'll pick up all splotchy. So I had to go back and I had to just deepen the skin tone right here a little bit more. Because if you have any uneven skin tones, it'll really come up and it'll come up splotchy and white and it'll look horrible. So I went ahead and I took, this is the color I used. I went back and I just went back in here and just made sure that I really didn't leave it too light in the center. Even though that's how I kind of really wanted it, but it's not good when you go to do the printing. Also, when they printed it, the girl messed up and she didn't print it all the way to the edge. Because what I like this is, I like to be able to, I do 8.5 by 11, and then you can cut it down to like 8 by 10 to fit a frame. Okay, so, and she didn't do that. This is smaller than even 8 by 10. Anyway, so I have to get the prints remade. So I'm gonna go today and get the prints made of this and get prints made of this one, and then I'll announce it in my next video before I start our next little series of we are more alike than we are not. Because the next series, I think I'm going to put a black woman and an Asian woman together. That'll be my next one. This one was a black woman with a native. This is a black woman with a Caucasian or white woman. So we're going to keep doing this series. And I think it's turning out really cool. So like I said, let me know if you learned some new techniques, if you're inspired to do some work like this with this concept, if you learned about some new products, let me know. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up, any comments or questions, leave them below. Come visit me on Facebook and Instagram and join our group. It's called Our Magical Little Place on Facebook, and the link is below. It's a clickable link. And if whatever art you do, whether it's mixed media, junk journaling, art journaling, crocheting, knitting, whatever it is, you can come there and share your work with us, because I consider all of that, everything's art. And you can come and share with us there, okay? All right, you guys, that's it for this one. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!